My name is Lee Roberts, and I am in the ILCS department, the International Language and Culture Studies department. It's pretty big, so it's not like I'm going to say it's just a book. I am doing two things sort of simultaneously, which is the way I've done it basically always. I am working with a few colleagues around the world, specifically one in New York, another in Japan, others in Korea, just as examples, to create a new subdiscipline which we're calling German-Asian Studies. I don't know if we can say that we actually named it, because I think people have been using this for the last 10 years or so, this title for this subdiscipline, but I'm trying to get this really off the ground, and I've been doing that at conferences, creating panels on German-Asian studies, and I have a new series that I'm doing with a colleague that I'm trying to negotiate with a publisher right now. We've received a contract, and so it's a new version of a contract. We're still trying to decide if this is the one we want to accept, but the series should be up soon. I have sort of, if you look at the work that I've done over the years that would sort of contribute or maybe give rise to this sort of series, as a graduate student I did a conference proceedings called Germany and the Imagined East, which came out as a book. I also did then a book based on my dissertation called Literary Nationalism in German and Japanese Germanistic. Germanistic is the field that I work in, and this literary nationalism is the idea that the literature of the nation expresses some sort of a cultural spirit that is specific to that nation and distinct from all others. And I have argued that in the way that the thinkers, writers, ideologues in Germany leading up to Nazi Germany were writing about their national tradition, Japanese who were studying the same German national tradition were taking some of this over into their own language and occasionally applying it even to the way they talked about their own national spirit leading up to the Second World War. So this is, I created a parallel between the two. I discerned, I identified a parallel between the two peoples and the way they talked about their national selves. I have a book that has just appeared that I contributed to on Germany and China, and I did a chapter in that about the concept, the discourse of the Yellow Peril in the interwar period, that's between World War I and World War II, that was in the German-speaking world, and German-speaking Jewish refugees who went to Shanghai, China, would have taken in before they went to China. Many of them were so afraid of going to China that they actually, some of them considered jumping off the boat before they could even reach the country. And so I make a connection between this discourse in history books, in literature and the like, in this, and their fear of China. I'm also, a book is supposed to come out at the end of 2015 on Germany and Japan. I'm an editor with two other people on this book, and I'm a contributor. I have a chapter on the German understanding of the Japanese as superior to all other non-Western countries because of the way that they interpreted and stayed true to their own national literature that was on a Western model, the way that Westerners, so-called authentic Westerners, did. And then I'm also contributing a chapter very soon on German-Asian gender relations to a book that will be is under review now, I'm sorry. And then I have another book under review on Germany and Korea. So Koreans who are in Germany writing in German about being Korean and being German all at the same time. Those are the big projects that I've got going on. I'm also doing quite a bit. I said two things, that I was doing two things. The one is the German-Asian Studies, the other is Holocaust and Genocide Studies stuff. You will hear that in some of the things I mentioned. So the German-speaking Jewish refugees in Shanghai, this is Holocaust related. And the reason they were in Shanghai is because they were thrown out of the country, or they were lucky enough to be able to escape. And in many cases, well, those who went to Shanghai were really lucky to have that place to go to because they couldn't go anywhere else. This series it's a brand new series, and to my knowledge, it is the first of its kind. So there are other things out there like especially series on Germany and China, but Germany and China is interesting but limited. And this will include Germany and Cambodia, or Germany and Vietnam, or anywhere in the world that has been considered Asia. So I think this is going to be a much broader, much richer series than many that you'll see out there. Well, I have just been asked to be the Associate Director for the Institute of Holocaust and Genocide Studies here at IPFW, and I'll focus maybe on one big project that I am taking part in right now. I'm on a Holocaust Education Committee, and together we are trying to plan a symposium for people who are just about to enter the teaching profession and will be teaching something on the Holocaust. So it will be a several-day seminar where people will come and learn all different aspects of the Holocaust, and also specifically how to teach the Holocaust, which is it's not one and the same. Knowing about something is not necessarily teaching it or being able to teach it. And so that will be one of the foci of this symposium. We also have speakers that we're bringing in, and in the future we will be trying to secure more funding for the Institute so that it can be a self-sustaining institute that can continue to offer the symposium that we're envisioning, as well as bringing in more speakers, and maybe even offering travel funds to people who want to go to archives or who may go to give presentations at conferences. We are really in need of a next generation of Holocaust scholars so that what we have understood up to now is not forgotten, and so that we don't think that it is simply something in the past, that it is in the past, but so that we don't think that it's basically over and can't happen again. I'd like to encourage students to study double majors, to take double majors, or at least to consider taking dual languages. There's this idea that people take one language and they take it for 4 semesters and then they're done. That's very American. Very American. You might say it's very North American, maybe even English, maybe Australian, but it's not very common throughout the rest of the world. And I think it would be valuable if people took, already at the undergraduate level, while they have the opportunity, 2 very different languages, like say German and Japanese, or German and Arabic, and already started at the undergraduate level in their history courses or their German courses or their sociology courses to use these languages, even if it's on a simple level. Because I've heard from colleagues at other universities that more and more people are looking for, departments are looking for people who can deal with 2 completely different areas of the world. And I think that will be true of business as well. So as we know, business is very international these days. And so you could be sitting right here in this town and be working with people in Sweden or Germany or Korea, South Korea, or Vietnam, it doesn't matter where. And I think the more that you know about these people, much of it through language, the better chances you'll have for success.